Hello, my name is Mark Chamberlain, specialty painter. Today we're going to look at hand-painted stripes and patterns. I think today we're going to start with a chevron. We have an inspiration photo here, and this is something a designer took a picture of and gave to me and said, what about this for something? So this is a chevron. They go back to Hopi pottery and ancient Hindu temples and hippy-dippy ponchos and on into the night. But this one to me sort of looks French Art Deco. It's a very relaxed pattern. It's just exactly the same dimensions as my triangle. I have a silver base coat, which I've already painted, and I've already also started a drawing here. On both our sample and our wall, we want to find the exact center and move out from there. Because your drawing starts to get a little sloppy sometimes out as you finish up, and you want that over at the edges. And also it just centers your piece. I find that, like, if this is the wall, I'm always taping levels to my ruler so that I can find a plumb, a true line. And I'll establish a center line and I'll start working out from there. I have a simple proportion of 1 inch to 3 inch to 1 inch to 3 inch. So I just started drawing and just used the dimensions of the triangle, which are 90 degrees, 60 degrees, 30 degrees here, and just zip, zip, zip up and down like that. Lined up the edges, flipped it over, and continued. Some people like to tape their edges. I don't. I find that it just always bleeds, and it's more work, and it's going to look more mechanical, and I like a handmade, beautiful painting quality. So we might tape a few lines just to see what the difference is, but I don't tape. We're going to assume this is going to take 2 coats, and I like to just rough it in on the first coat and really correct everything on the second pass. So be neat, but you're going to fix it later. This is an extra firm brush, which is the only brush I'll use for hand-painted stripes. It allows you to cut a very solid line, and a normal brush would just flop around as you're trying to make your edge, not these. We use compasses for drawing circles and arcs. Engineers use these. This is my grandfather's in World War II. I have a base coat of a silver metallic paint over which we're going to do an aubergine, kind of dark purple, in a matte finish. And every time you go back and forth between a matte and a metallic paint, it just kind of vibrates a little bit. So at this point, we're going to come in and fine-tune, clean up our lines, fix what needs fixing, and then we'll go in at the last stage with the original color and fix things like that. That's an angle shader, and I use that for all my little points. And I have all kinds of sizes for different corners and straight edges. And they wear out fast. Those are another thing we have to keep on replacing. For the last step, we're just going to take our original color and go back and clean things up a little bit. Little fingerprint kind of things, rough edges, pencil marks, and try to clean up our peaks. One way we can use bold patterns like this is where you want to make a statement, like a front foyer, the lobby of a condo or a hotel. If you have one of those big apartments right where you get off the elevator and enter the apartment, you might want to try this in retail spaces to help define your brand. In this project, they had the grape color base coat when we got there, which they weren't sure if they liked. What we did is trumped it up with a little pin gold stripe on each, flanking a large dark stripe in the middle. And this dark color made the whole wall much stronger and more dynamic than this kind of weak grape color in the back. The gold leaf related to other elements in the room. Purple and gold are kind of opposites, and then suddenly this grape, instead of being this purple color in the middle of the room, wound up being the neutral.